Afternoon, Chris. I imagine the mood around the training ground's pretty positive after back-to-back wins.
Yeah, it's been a good few days for us. Good performances, good wins. Everyone's in good spirits. Obviously, it's 3 games in a week, which is demanding anyway. No matter what you win, lose or draw, it's a demanding period. You know, physically and mentally for the 3 games. But definitely having such good performances and results, it improves everyone's mood and everyone's in good spirits.
After those 2 wins, how pleasing is it to not only be rewarded for our performance level, but also the fact that we're scoring different types of goals, as you mentioned in the week, and the fact that different players are chipping in all across the pitch at the moment?
Yeah, that's been good actually. I think we have scored all sorts of different goals, set pieces and counter-attack breaking away, and sort of open play goals where we're having to work the ball and switch and cross. So a lot of good goals in there, and not relying on just one player or 2 players coming all around. So that's encouraging for the fullbacks or a midfielder getting in the box, wingers getting in at the back post. So really encouraging.
And you've said that all along, if you want success, not just in this division, but probably in any level of football, you need players chipping in all across different areas of the pitch.
Yeah, definitely. We've got players that I think can score more goals than maybe at times they believe they can, with the technique, with the ability they can get in the box. They've got the athleticism to get there, and I think it's about believing it and keep arriving in the right positions first and foremost, and then if the chances come, you've got an opportunity to score.
You reference hunger and desire being 2 key components to Tuesday's win. How important is it that we replicate those traits again tomorrow?
Yeah, definitely. I think it was quick turnaround from after the Portsmouth match, so we needed to, pick up where we left off really for that one. And obviously tomorrow, away from home, big test. We know that, but we can be definitely encouraged by the form that we're in, the way we're playing, and we need to try to transport that home form and aggression to this game tomorrow.
The home form's naturally been really good this season. How important is it now to find that formula of what we've done at home and replicate that away from home now? Is that the next challenge, do you think, for you and this team?
Yeah, I think so. I think we've proven we can win away from home, and we did that. We've got a clean sheet. We've won, having been a goal down away from home. So we've shown that we can do it. I think most teams are better at home naturally than they are away, so it's not unusual. But yeah, I think we're a real force at home with how we attack oppositions. We're pretty relentless, and I think trying to transport that into a different environment is a big challenge for us. But it's an opportunity to show we're capable of it, and one of the best teams in the league clearly in Middlesbrough. It's a big test, but we have to try to build on the momentum that we've created.
You also said something interesting after the game on Tuesday, that we've faced a lot of different scenarios this season. We've scored late goals, we've conceded goals, we've had send-ins off, injuries. How important is it to have experienced all that within this first third of the season?
Yeah, well, we've been through a lot. There's been a lot that's gone on actually this season, but that's part of it. I think we've faced all different scenarios together, and I think we've come out of it stronger in terms of there's a togetherness, there's a spirit there, and there's definitely a growth. I can see players that I think Ipswich, that very first game, if I think about where they are now and how they've adapted to the league, the level, I think there's some that have come on quite far. And I think we've grown stronger through the adversity that we have faced together, and we know clearly that anything can happen in a game because we've seen it all so far, and even in the warm-ups we've lost players to injuries, so anything can happen on that day, and you just got to be ready to face those challenges as a team, knowing and believing that you have the quality to overcome them.
Do you think that can stand us in good stead for when we come back after the November break? It's pretty much relentless for best part of 3 or 4 months, so taking everything we've learnt in this first chunk of the season, going into that sort of middle period where a lot can be won and lost.
Yeah, it's a very defining period. Obviously that winter time in the Championship, so gruelling, demanding for everyone, but we can be definitely encouraged, I think, by what we've seen and what we've shown, and the squad hopefully stays fit. That's been important as well, keeping players available during this time where there's a lot of games. We had it last season, obviously, where we had to really push on over Christmas, and we managed to do it. So, yeah, I think everyone will be, all focused on tomorrow. But after that, international break and people recouping for obviously a really big few weeks ahead.
Just want to ask you about the sort of in-game management situations. Has that been particularly pleasing the last couple of games, because start of the second half in particular against Portsmouth, 1 goal up, getting that second goal, third goal, and the same again on Tuesday. Is that something that has been worked on, or is it always been there? It's just the way that it panned out.
Yeah, I think it's like anything. You probably wonder what's said at half time when you come out really well or you don't come out well, and often there's similar messages, to be honest. But I think particularly in the games that we were really on top, I think, and you are up in the game, I do think there's a tendency to subconsciously just sort of protect your lead or sit back. And I think what we did well in those games is we kept attacking as the best form of defence, really. And I think that really helped us in those games, because this level teams can get back on top of you, and it doesn't take a lot to do that. So you have to try to stay dominant. I think we did that well in both games, and came out well after the second half, which I want us to do. We typically start pretty sharp in the first few minutes of games, but I think after the break, after half time, I think having that same kind of start is important.
Middlesbrough next up tomorrow. They've had a strong start to the season, unbeaten at home. What sort of challenge are you expecting from them?
Yeah, I mean, I've seen a lot of them now. Very good footballing team. They get on the ball. They try to play. There's a patience there. They're not, some teams at this level would be just focused on sort of lots of long balls and set pieces. Others might be more counter-attacking. With them, I think I've seen a variety of threats, but particularly their ability to dictate a game with the ball in the midfield. They get on it and try to pass and control games. So, interesting challenge for us in that sense. We definitely have confidence that we've got threats of our own, but they're obviously having a strong season, and they were strong last season, I think, as well, and they have been for a few years. So we know that, but we're excited for the match.
Just finally from me, with tomorrow being the third game of a busy week, is there a temptation to go again with the same team, or is there questions to be had around freshening it up and conditioning of the players?
Yeah, like every team selection, you've got to look at it all. You've got to look at form, fitness, and freshness, and the feeling around it, and you've got to look at everything and weigh it all up and see what you feel's best to go with. And the information, is what I try to gather, which is how they are, physically after games, mentally how they are, and then put that all together and decide on the team selection. But the good news is that we've not picked up new injuries from these games, which has been excellent, because we have had a few bumps along the road with that stuff, but we've avoided that, which bodes well.
Thank you.